Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To our respected lecturer, Dr. Muhammad Nazir bin Muhammad Adi. Firstly, let me introduce my group members. First, Nur Shamila Najwa binti Husaini, Nur Shazwani Izzati binti Muhammad Azam, and Nur Nisa Nabila binti Mustafa. I would like to start presenting first with introduction and continue to present about type of fraud. First and foremost, fraud is defined as any act, mistake, or deception that result in a loss or injury to another person due to a violation of a legal or equitable obligation or trust. According to the law say about fraud is both criminal and civil law apply to fraud. The most striking difference is who initiate the legal action in the first place. Only government prosecutors have the authority to file criminal charge, whereas a fraud victim can launch a civil complaint. Next, a person who commits fraud may face criminal and civil penalties. In civil fraud proceedings, the victim must show that they were hurt due to the deception and fraud mentioned above. In contrast, the prosecution only needs to verify that the defendant committed fraud in a criminal case. Next, we go to the type of fraud. Firstly, insurance fraud. When an insured person or business makes a misleading or inflated insurance claim seeking compensation for damage or losses that did not exist, this is the most common type of insurance fraud. This type of crime can also be conducted on customers by selling illegal or fake insurance coverage to unwary client or by an insurance broker or agent diverting or stealing insurance premiums paid by client. In the context of insurance, fraud refers to any dishonest act committed with the intent of receiving a mistaken payment from an insurance company. Next is invoice fraud. A fraudster informs your company that the payment details for a supplier have changed and give alternate information to deceive you. The fraudster could be impersonating as a member of your own staff or claiming to be from a legitimate supplier. Because monies are often transferred, recovering funds from fraudulent accounts may be challenging. Invoice fraud happens when invoice fraudsters are generally aware of the ties between business and their suppliers, and they know when recurring payments are due. The other type of fraud is payroll fraud. Payroll fraud occurs when employees or employers use the payroll system to gain money they haven't earned, or when employers withhold payment of legitimately earned wages or taxes owing on those wages. Fraud comes in many forms and is difficult to spot. However, the cost of dishonesty and fraud can be high if organizations are not careful. Employees may lie about their performance, sales, or work hours to obtain higher pay. Employers also may misclassify employees to save money, like unemployment taxes, payroll taxes, and employee benefits. Payroll fraud could be classified as deliberate misclassification resulting in legal ramification for the organization. Last but not least is accounting fraud. Accounting fraud is when financial statements are deliberately falsified to give the appearance of a company's financial soundness. Investors and stockholders were also duped by an employee, accountant, or the company itself. Overstating revenue, failing to record expenses, and misstating assets and liabilities are always a company can falsify its financial statements. Accounting fraud occurs when a company artificially inflates its revenue. For example, assume that firm ABC is losing money and is not making enough money. To hide from this, the company could declare on its financial statements that it is making more money than it is. On the financial statement, would overestimate the company profit. If a company overstates its revenues, the stock price will rise, giving the impression that it is in good financial shape. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Nurul Shamila Najwa binti Husaini. My matric number is AP210360. I am from Faculty of Technology Management and Business. So I will continue our presentation with the effect of fraud. There are various effects that will exist in a business due to fraud. Fraud has an impact on individuals, businesses, organizations, and service. In this business industry, there are a variety of consequences that might emerge from fraud. First of all, the effect of fraud is fraud may distort markets. By saying that, fraud will undermine the company's reputation in addition to causing immediate financial loss. It may make it more difficult to find and keep business partners, customers, and staff. Plus, it can also put a larger strain on charities and community agencies that assist those who have been victims of fraud. Next, we move to the second effect of fraud, which is fraud may also cause a business to lose its reputation and brand image. This is because a firm that becoming the victim of fraud can cause consumers and clients to lose faith in the integrity of the company's operations. On the other hand, an internal fraud crime may cause consumers and clients to lose faith in the company's employees. Overall, customers are far less likely to want to do a business with a firm that has a history of fraud. The next effect of fraud is the business will loss of repeat customers. This is because fraud may be a devastating experience for customers with long-term consequences for their mental health and life. As a result, even after the crisis has passed, those who are involved in someone's business are likely to have a lot less trust in them. Business may be concerned about being associated with the brand of another firm and the influence this may have on their own image. People may also be concerned about the influence that doing business with them will have on their careers, family, and mental health. Lastly, fraud in business also give an effect to the companies that do a business, which is they will lose a lot of employees. This thing happens because most of the employees may believe that quitting is the best option for their career if they are concerned about their personal reputation while interacting with someone's business. As a result, employees may prefer to look for work elsewhere because they believe that they can no longer working with the organization that has become a victim of fraud. For example, if a person resigns from a firm that has been a victim of fraud, the individual's reputation and image will be protected. Furthermore, by quitting, they may be able to grow into new sectors of company, preserving their great reputation while generating a massive profit. That's all from me. I will pass this presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
My name is Nurul Shazwani Izzati binti Muhammad Azam. My matrix number is AP210287. Today, I'm going to present about action taken in the case of a fraud crime. The first is restitution, which means the return of the victim's money and other monetary damage. Restitution to victims and monetary penalties are frequently sought by regulators like the Federal Trade Commissions and the Security and Exchange Commissions when they file civil lawsuits against dishonest businesses. While the exact wording of anti-fraud legislation varies, the following elements are typically included: misrepresentation of an important fact with the intent to deceive, knowing full well that it is a lie, misrepresentation, and to a victim who can legitimately rely on it and who actually loses money as a result of this. The second action taken in the case of a fraud crime is criminal fraud convictions can result in a range of penalties. If convicted of criminal fraud, a sentence of jail or prison time is possible. Parole and probation, penalties, and or restitutions. Several factors will be considered by a court when deciding on a sentence for a criminal fraud conviction, including the severity of the crime itself, the level of deception, how many previous convictions does the defendant have. There is a chance that defendant is currently on probation or parole. What was stolen in terms of money or property, and the person or thing or what was the intended target. The penalty also have an impact from the communities and or the court's attitudes towards this type of crime. Charges brought under the federal law rather than state law may result in harshest penalties if the victim's entity is the federal government. The last one is conclusion. Fraud in the workplace occurs frequently not just in small business, but also in huge corporations. This happens repeatedly because there are irresponsible people that frequently take advantage of any firm by defrauding it of money of big worth. This has led to this act of fraud on the rise from time to time. However, although it is becoming more widespread, those who do such things are still difficult to track down because they are mostly professionals. The rate of fraud as well as the damage sustained by business can be minimized by taking action against those who are not responsible for the fraud. As such, each firm must identify who they are working with ahead of time in order to avoid fraudulent crimes and to sustain and expand their business to a higher level, particularly for small business. That's all. Thank you.